Today we have been visited by GAURA-NITAI, who is leading the kirtan here, and he will also be giving the lecture. GAURA-NITAI is disciple of Prabhupada, based in Canada, and is visiting us this week here. I'll make a little more announcements afterwards about. He'll give me a couple of lectures more during the week, and you're welcome to come and listen to him. But now we will have a lecture on bhagavad-gita until 4:30, followed by kirtan and the standard program that we have. So, standard program. Ignore.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Shripad Paramahamsa Parivrata Gacharya Hasta Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Nanda Goti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Govina Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Nandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtakitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantekam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Sadvahutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyecha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I'd like to thank all the regulars as well as any newcomers or any folks here coming for the first time. Anybody? Okay, wow, 3 new guests. Is that Nikki over there? Hey, all right. We met Nikki on Harinam Sankirtan yesterday, and also your friend. Sorry, I forgot your name. Angus. Okay. Nice. And your name, sir?
Jacob.
Jacob.
Yes.
And how did you find out about the temple?
This guy.
You met this guy over by the door here. Yeah, he's very friendly.
Also yesterday. Yes.
Oh, nice. So just see the value of going out and spreading the glories of the Lord's holy name, the process of Sankirtan. So I was thinking, what am I going to talk about tonight for everyone's benefit? And I was thinking about this verse that many of you may be familiar with. It's from the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad-gita. And it's a verse that gives us hope, because that's what we need in this day and age, where often we feel the darkness that is going on in society, or the darkness in the minds of people who think they're in power. So the verse is chapter 2, verse 40. Nehabi kramo na shoshti. Does anyone know that? Nehabi kramo na shoshti. Pratyavayo na vidyate. Swapamapi yasya dharmasya. Sorry, my eyes aren't working very good. Trayate mahato bayat. So that's Sanskrit. And what does it all mean? Well, abhikrama means to endeavor in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the origin of all the Germanic languages. From Sanskrit comes Latin, Greek, Hebrew, Arabic, you name it. It has its origins in the mother of all languages. So this is our little Sanskrit class. We have a Sanskrit class every morning. What time is Bhagavatam? 7:45? Yeah, so if you like to study languages, come and study Sanskrit with us every morning at 7:45. And now we're having a tiny little introduction to Sanskrit. So in this endeavor, abhikrama, there is no loss or pratyavaha, which means diminution. There's no loss or diminution, and a little advancement. Swalpam means a little. A little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Bhayat. Bhaya means fear, right? And so bhayat means danger. So what is the danger that we're facing in this life? You know, we see signs along the road, danger. So in this endeavor there's no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So those are the words of Krishna. That's actually God speaking, as his words have been preserved through what's called a disciplic succession. Just like Lord Jesus Christ, people are celebrating this as Easter Sunday, I believe. Yeah, so he had his apostles, right? What was it, 10 or a dozen? Something like that.
How many did it? 12.
12 apostles, yeah. So my understanding is that Christ expected there to be a disciplic succession from these 12 apostles. But we can see because that disciplic succession was not maintained coming down from Christ, therefore there's so many different opinions. I'm not sure if it was St. Thomas of Aquinas or St. Thomas of Aquinas, and who was the other one I'm thinking of? He was saying that animals didn't have souls and neither did women. So, but I guess they started losing a lot of donations by saying that women didn't have souls, so he decided to give them back a soul. So philosophy without religion is mental speculation, and religion without a consistent philosophical basis to it is just fanaticism. And we don't want to be fanatics. Neither do we want to be mental speculators. Fanatics are people who are concerned about the letter of the law, and if the letter of the law is not followed, then you're excluded. So we don't want to be fanatics. Lord Chaitanya's mood, who we worship here on the altar, he's the magnanimous. Namo Maha Vadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namde Gauravish. He's the most big-hearted of all incarnations of God, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared 530 years ago in the district of Nadia in West Bengal. He is a combined incarnation of Radha and Krishna. And he went out into the streets and he sent his assistants, Lord Nityananda, Haridas Thakur. Didn't matter if they were drunkards. I mean, we know our own Srila Prabhupada. He would have to step over, the drunkards in the Bowery in order to get into his room. And they would get up and they would give him some respect because they could understand he was a saintly person. I was hearing from Prithu Prabhu, my dear godbrother in Vrindavan. He was saying that, who was it? I can't remember if it was him personally or if it was another devotee who met a person in San Francisco, and he was like, I don't know what you call them here, but like you have bag ladies that live out of their bags. So It's
the same word in Danish.
Okay.
Bag ladies.
Well, this was a shopping cart man.
No, it's the same here.
Okay, and he was carrying everything in the shopping cart, and he came up to this devotee and he said, he did an amazing thing. I remember meeting him in the Bowery, and people were totally transformed by his presence, and he did really good. The love that he spread throughout the world, and he just continued on pushing
My God.
shopping cart. So, just like yesterday, we did a wonderful home program. About 15 people were there. And it's just a reminder that there are devotees everywhere. Prabhupada once said there's a Brahmin around every corner. A Brahmin is a sattvic, philosophical, spiritual, intellectual. So these people are everywhere. And we just need to go and find them. And that's what we do when we go out chanting the Hare Krishna mantra on the street. And Manidhar Prabhu is serving out his special Krishna balls. I don't know exactly, I can't pronounce the Danish. What are they called? Kugelhof. So this is prasad. This is food offered to Krishna. And anything that's been offered to the Lord becomes sanctified. It becomes Krishnized. And anyone who gets even touches the prasad, what to speak of eating it, or touching a book, because these books are non-different from the Lord. This message of the Lord has been preserved down since He spoke it 5,000 years, because there is this unbroken disciplic succession. So even, I would hazard to say, and this may even be documented somewhere, that even more important than Krishna's words are Srila Prabhupada's purports. Because the purports, the commentary, because some people, they may say, oh, I just want a Bhagavad-gita just with the verses. I don't need someone's commentary. Well, sorry, without the commentaries, you're not going to actually get it. You're not going to really understand the message, because we need to learn Bhagavad-gita from someone who's a living Bhagavad-gita, who's actually living it, who's breathing it, mind, body, words, 24/7. That is His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So this is the explanation he gives. Activity in Krishna consciousness, or acting for the benefit of Krishna, and so when we say Krishna, of course we mean God. Acting for, it's like in the Bible it says, thy will be done, right? It doesn't say my will be done. That's what we're trying to give up, the my will be done. No, it's thy will be done. We want to act. This is what yoga means. Yoga is coming from the Sanskrit root yug, which means to link our individual consciousness with the supreme consciousness. Just like the word religion. Religion comes from the Latin religiare, which means to bind back man or woman with God, with the Supreme. So actually the goal of yoga and the goal of religion or spirituality is the same. You would not probably know that in the majority of the yoga studios that you might visit today, because it's really more about stretching your limbs. It's important to stretch our limbs. Srila Prabhupada would walk every morning from 6 to 7 a.m. He'd go on a brisk walk just to keep himself in good shape. I was walking on my way back from your big park here, and I was watching all these guys kicking around. I don't know if you call it soccer or football. They were bouncing it off their head. And, what do you call it?
Football.
Football. Yeah, and I was looking at these guys, and I was like, okay, people they like to have something active, and I was thinking, how could they utilize their energy, and I guess it's the competition that they like, it's part of it, and the workout that they get.
Book distribution.
Book distribution, exactly. I was thinking like this. I was thinking, these fellows with all this energy, they should be out there with the GAURA-NITAI Prabhu, and they should be using their intelligence. How are we going to give a book to the next person like that, and be out in there on the street? But one step at a time. They need to get one of Manidhar Prabhu's Kuligov.
Bullet sweets.
ISKCON bullet. A Krishna bullet, and then gradually, transformation will take place. So, activity in Krishna consciousness, or acting for the benefit of Krishna, without expectation of sense gratification, is the highest transcendental quality of work. That means serving God without thinking, what's in it for me? What am I going to get out of this? Materially speaking. Then that's called business. But still, it's doing business with Krishna, so you'll get purified eventually. There's 4 kinds of people that come to Krishna. Does anyone know who they are? Each person maybe can give one. What's one type of person that comes to Krishna?
Artha, the one who is suffering.
Yeah, 4 kinds of people and yes, they have their various reasons, and people, someone who's lacking wealth, Artha.
Artharti is one who's lacking wealth.
Artharti.
Artha is one who's suffering.
One who's suffering, okay. And what's the third type of person from the ladies? Yes?
Inquisitive one.
One who's inquisitive.
Curious.
Yeah, like when people, we were chanting yesterday and they stopped. Actually, it's really great when the little kids stop. I was telling the story yesterday. I was doing kirtan in Parc La Fontaine in Quebec, Canada, a couple of years back with my friend Vedavyas, his wife. And this couple were walking by with their little girl, and the little girl stopped. And she looked at the devotees. They were quite at some distance, and she stopped. And she was looking. And the father was like, come on, let's go. And no! And she fixed her eyes on the devotees. And then she started walking towards, and the father stayed where he was, and the mother came with the little girl. And she came, maybe where the pole is, and she stood there. She was like about 3.5, 4 years old. And then she sat down in a lotus position, and she went like this. My mind was completely blown. Like, who is this soul? Who is this great personality that's come to listen to the Harinam? So we shouldn't look at these entities as just, it's just a little kid. No. These are, who knows where they're continuing from where they left off. And that's the meaning of this verse today. That even if we only make 20% Krishna, just like when I'm on my japa walk, I try to focus on japa. But every once in a while, you pass a person on the street and you say, hi. And some people they pretend that they didn't see you, especially if you've got, big, thick Ganges clay on your forehead. And other people will say, hi. So their spiritual life has begun. If you can just get someone to say, hi, it's a start. Even if they don't ever meet another devotee in this lifetime, they'll get a chance in their next lifetime. So that's what we want to do. We want to give everybody a chance. So that's why we like to wear our tilak. At our 3720 Avenue du Parc temple, which was the third Hare Krishna temple, which was started in 1968 in Montreal, there used to be a devotee that would stand by the door. And as soon as someone would walk in, immediately they put tilak on them. You don't get in without the tilak. Shut up! Yeah, and then we don't shave them up at the door, but at least, because it means our body is a temple of the Lord. And I believe this is even stated in the Bible, that people who are of God will mark their forehead with the mark of God. And anyone who sees the tilak symbol, the symbol of Vishnu, that the body is the temple, they become freed from their sins. They become free from their karma. So we don't just wear the tilak to remind ourselves that this body is not a trash can. Because a lot of people do put, junk and trash. They eat trash or they read trash. But if you put the tilak on, you're reminding, oh no, this is not a trash can. This is Krishna's temple and I'm living inside it. Just like our apartments and our houses are not our apartments and houses. We're just guests there. Krishna's letting us live there, even though we may be an illusion and think, no, this is my apartment, this is my house. No. At any time we can be kicked out of it. We never know. And anyway, most of the time the banks own our houses anyway, right? It's another type of maya to think, now I've owned this place. So we want to give everyone the opportunity. Even if someone just touches, that's why this going out on book distribution is so important. Just by touching this book, Prabhupada said, it's non-different than touching the lotus feet of the Lord. And in some temples, they even put the Bhagavad-gita or Bhagavatam on the altar. And they worship it as well, incense and paraphernalia. So we should not underestimate the potency of Krishna consciousness. So even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed. Otherwise, the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work begun in Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect, even though not finished. The performer of such work is therefore not at a loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning, which means the next life, is from the point of 2%. Or it could even be this life. Like, you know, sometimes we as devotees, we begin devotional service and then all of a sudden our wife divorces us, or someone dies in the family, or we lose our job, or we get depressed, or the chemicals in our brain aren't working properly, or, you know, anything can happen. And so we may temporarily stop devotional service. You know, we may, depending, you know, there's various degrees of forgetfulness. But, you know, to whatever degree one advanced, that's not lost. It's never lost. And we have to be very careful not to criticize someone who may have temporarily gone away, because we'll get reactions for criticizing a devotee of the Lord. Nobody is a loser in Krishna consciousness. Everyone's a winner. It's win-win all the way. You can't lose, even if you try. Because once having begun devotional service, Krishna won't forget your service. You know, just like if you have a good pal, a good friend, and they've done something for you, you'll never forget them. Even if they may, you know, say something or do something that, you know, you didn't appreciate, but still you remember. So this is gratitude. This is one of Krishna's 64 qualities, is that Krishna is grateful. And that's why we have this quality of gratitude as well. And it's an important quality to cultivate, because if we're to be grateful for the blessings that we've received in this lifetime is the opposite of being arrogant. And certainly nobody really likes an arrogant person, right? But everyone appreciates someone who's grateful. So we count our blessings, what we've received. We don't have to come to the temple, we get to come to this temple. We don't have to chant 16 rounds, we get to chant 16 rounds. We don't have to go on book distribution, we get to go on book distribution. It's all a privilege. So 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%. Whereas in material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. So Ajamil performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness, but the result he enjoyed at the end was 100%. So, as I think most of you know the story of Ajamil, he's described in the 6th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. He came from a high-class Brahmin family, but it was very unusual. He saw a Sudra, Kalo Sudra Sambhava. In the age of Kali, everyone is born a Sudra. The Vedic system, sometimes people have a misconception of a caste system. They think, oh, that caste system, you know, the one that discriminates against people. Well, no. The true system that Krishna created, Chaturvarnyang Maya Shushnam Guna Karma Vibhagasa Tasya Kartanam Apimam Vidya Kartanam Aviyam. Krishna created the 4 divisions of labor. In Plato's Republic, he describes a man of gold or a woman of gold, a person of silver, a person of iron. So there's different, qualities that people have. You can see some people, they're just naturally inclined. They love going out in the countryside. They love to be in nature. They love to wake up early. They love to do things for the benefit of others, but they don't want everyone to know that they did it. They don't need to get the credit. They don't need to be glorified. They're naturally attracted to the vegetarian